All right. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. As always, I'm your host, Adam Smith. And with us, pretty much as always, is my co host, one of our other coaches, all around superhuman, Yogi Somye, newlywed, Jen Waborhart. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
That's a new frame
I know.
there. Oh, I haven't seen that one before.
I know.
How does it know to center? How did it know to center on our faces so well? Are we just smart enough to be centered well?
I'm gonna guess that.
All right, so we'll talk about StreamYard a little bit and how cool we think that platform is in comparison to what we've been doing in the past if we want. But welcome back to the show. Our guest today is somebody that we absolutely love and adore for more reasons than just being a super cool guest, but also local to us. We basically grew up in the same circles, which is weird that we didn't find each other until recent years. And another superhuman in this man's opinion, Stacey Baum. Hi, Stacey. Welcome back.
Thank you. That was a very nice intro.
Well, we have a lot in common. If memory serves, you actually grew up in Aurora.
I did, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Smoky Hill High School.
Yeah, and I didn't migrate over towards Aurora until I was finishing high school at Eagle Crest when they didn't even actually have seniors. I was one of 4 people to graduate the year that they only had freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that had been matriculating. I like to tell everybody that I graduated second in my class.
Yeah.
I usually don't mention that there were only 4 of us.
That's funny. I didn't remember any of that.
No? All right. But I think one of the things that, Jen and I really dig about you is your passion for animals, your involvement with animal charity stuff, and so on and so forth. And what was the term you had used before we went live? You're a foster failure.
Yes, many times over.
So people will ask you to help them foster animals, and then you keep them.
I just can't give them up. Yeah.
You can't give them.
She finds them a home. It's just with her.
It's at her home, right? Okay, so I guess she does find them a home. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, the two of you have that in common for sure. No question about it. Well, Stacey, it's probably been a minute, I'm guessing a year or so since we've had you on the show. Jen would probably know better than I would for the timeline type of stuff. Yeah. But what have you been up to? You must be busy. How's business? Kind of a chaotic last year or so.
It was. You know what was really weird? And I actually had my best year last year, even with all the rates and all of that. I know. It's so weird. I had a lot of family that was moving and, I had a lot of referrals. I don't know. I just had a really good year. So I don't know that was the norm for everybody, but so I'm hoping to have an even better year this year, put it that way.
Jen and I have our finger on the pulse of a lot of real estate agents, loan originators, and no, I don't think anybody can say that 2023 was their best year.
I know. I don't think it was, I guess it's sad to admit this, but I don't know that it was like I was working any harder. I just think things started falling into my lap. So it was like kind of just by fate that people needed to sell, needed to buy, that I knew or was, they referred to me. So, but anyway, I learned a lot last year, so that was good.
It's not fate. It's the constant and consistent work and being present and doing it over and over and over that eventually yields those results, no matter who you are. You're just doing your shit right.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest. Most of my business is referral. And so that is true. It is, these were people that I had sold several homes for, so I work a lot. So don't get me wrong, but there was no magic pill for last year for me. So, but I definitely work a lot.
It wasn't last year and it wasn't you. There's no magic pill. There's no such thing. Sure. And I think Stacey answered. We could probably end this broadcast now and all future broadcasts because Stacey nailed it. Everybody, you just have to work hard.
Yeah,
that's it. Just do the damn work, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be successful, and that's it. There's no more left to say, I guess.
Well, it's
actually true.
I mean, I'm sure you can appreciate. I mean, there's a lot of people that get into this business thinking, "Oh, I'll have my own freedom. I'll have my calendar free. And it's
My
gonna be
schedule
great."
will be flexible, and I'm going to see cool houses, and I'm going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, I love to show houses because it's just like HGTV.
Yeah, that's
Like...
it. Yeah, no, this is most people getting into the real estate business. We know that this is true because 80% plus fail in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
They do think that it's a combination of two things. One, HGTV.
Yes.
Or that kind of, mentality.
Yes.
And the fact that being in real estate school doesn't actually teach you what the job is.
That is so true.
So we take that combination of things out into the market as new real estate agents, and we work our circle. And I've got news for you all. Aunt Edna does not buy a house every year.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works. It doesn't go that way. But if the real estate schools told people what the job really is, then their failure rate would be huge.
Yes.
Because
true.
they couldn't suffer an 80% drop in enrollment in revenue. So I get that. And HGTV wants to sell their shit just like you and I do. They're capitalists. Yes. Fine. And we did a few episodes many, many years ago when HGTV was new of My First Place. Do you remember My First Place?
Yes.
So they did a bunch in Denver, and coincidentally, we happened to be the mortgage lender on a bunch of these people that had signed up to do the show. And it's crap. The editing was so insane. It is actually not reality TV. It's not even close to real. It is, I don't even know how to describe it. And we've got a bunch of friends and colleagues that have done shows like that over the years. I can't remember the name of the show, but there's this bigwig guy, and I've seen him speak at conferences, who has a booming Manhattan real estate business.
Oh, I bet it's Ryan something.
I can't remember.
But anyway,
here's a cat that scored a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Then they told him to go get a real estate license so they could do that show.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how real reality TV is when it comes to HGTV. They hired the actor, reality, right? And then they sent him off to go get a real estate license so that they could do the show about real estate. So, let's not put too much faith in what we see on television there, boys and girls.
I have a funny story. I used to do a lot of work for Freedom Service Dogs, and we were
likewise.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that.
And my Sertoma Club sponsored them for years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, so I don't know if you guys remember, this is years ago when the big, one of the big football guys in town was Eric Decker. So he had a show on called, Eric and Jesse, or I don't know what it was called.
It was something like that, but it was Eric and Jesse.
Yeah. And they were very good, and they gave a lot to Freedom Service Dogs. So we were like their sole charity that their charity gave to. So they did, I think, 1 or 2 episodes at Freedom Service Dogs. And that is where I learned that reality TV is not reality at all. Like we may not have had a script in our hands, but like before they would say action, they would basically tell us what to do. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, this is really not reality at all.
Although now it makes us wonder how real Travis and Taylor are. All right, all the Swifties are going to weigh in on that shit now.
Don't get me started, Adam.
Okay, all right. And thank you to Taylor for what she's done for the NFL. It's a very big step, no question. Brought that into every living room, mainstream, coast to coast, around the world. I would be willing to. I know the Super Bowl had more viewers than it ever had, and obviously she played a big part in that. And I would be willing to bet that the global viewership has skyrocketed because she is a global name.
Yeah.
And Travis is, a big Kansas City name, which, we're kind of not even comparing apples and oranges there. It's, we're comparing kiwi and dragon fruit. I don't even know how to describe that. And the Kelseys have a podcast as well, which is a phenomenal broadcast. And they had Brett Favre on the show.
Okay.
And Brett going off the rails about how she's piggybacking on what the NFL has done. She's riding the NFL's coattails. And even the Kelseys are like, what are you talking about? This woman's like the global name, the most popular person ever on the planet. In fact, a backup I can't even remember what position the guy plays. That's how obscure it is. Special teams player named Swift has sold more NFL jerseys than the Kelce's now.
That is hilarious. Yeah. But did Favre say that before Travis was dating her, or was he saying that after?
No, this was fairly recent. Absolutely. No, this is absolutely since they've been an item and we've all known about it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild, but yeah, for those of you that don't have a grip on reality, yes, Taylor Swift is the bigger personality on a global level. So yeah. But yeah, I do remember Eric and Jesse, and it's good. I think that they really lent something. She was adorable, fairly talented country singer, if memory serves.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're very sweet. I mean, couldn't be sweeter.
Right. They came off as really nice people.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that was kind of the precursor. That was the early stages of Kelsey and Swift.
Yes,
exactly. Gen 1 Kelsey Swift.
I mean,
good for them. So let me ask you this, since we're on the subject, because I'm guessing I know the answer, and I do think it's relevant for our content. You're seeing quite a bit of business because of your charity work, aren't you?
So I do. In fact, it's interesting.
I mean, it's a byproduct, but yeah.
It is. I mean, it's actually a lot of people I work with in the nonprofit world. I do sell them houses or sell their house, So that is true. I've always been involved in animal charities, but my charity, like that I work for right now, is the Feline Fix up in Commerce City. So,
plug that shit. Absolutely, Jen. Put a comment in there about Stacey's.
I'm on it.
Charity. All right.
Oh yeah, all over it.
Let's drive some traffic for the Feline Fix.
Well, I will tell you this: it's going to be kitten season soon, and we not only need foster homes, but we need donations to cover it. So we take kittens off the streets.
This is
I know. So yes. So it's a great organization, low cost spay and neuter. I mean, it's just a phenomenal organization. But anyway, I have worked with them since probably 2017, I want to say. And I have definitely fostered for them. And I don't know that I failed every single time, but my last failure was my fourth cat. And I basically told them, you cannot ask me to foster anymore. I just can't do it.
I am absolutely overwhelmed with the 3 cats that we have. This is on top of 2 dogs in the aquarium and a teenage son. Yeah. We have a lot of animals. And I'm the rookie here, Stacey. You just said you have 4 cats?
Yeah, I have 4 cats.
And you're 2 big shepherds.
And 2 big German shepherds, yes.
And Jen, you have 5 cats? And I know of at least 1 dog, 2 dogs. Do I hear 3? 3? Can I get 3? 3 dogs? 3 dogs. Do I hear 3? Do I hear 3? Can I get 4? 4? Can I get 4? So, yeah, I mean, this is, and don't get me wrong, I love animals and I love animal people. But I think one of the things that we've certainly talked about a lot over the years is running with your tribes. Okay. And that's a big one. Like Jen and I had a coaching client that was a vegan, and fine, be a vegan. I'm a carnivore, but I get it. And she was reluctant to get involved with the vegan grocery store and the vegan restaurants and so on and so forth. And I said, are you going to sell houses for the people up the road here at the Cattlemen's Association? You're not. Run with your tribes.
Yeah.
Animal lovers just happen to be a great tribe. But I think that what we're really kind of talking about here spins it a little bit more, because volunteer work will get you so much more than that intrinsic reward, which we all do get. And please, all of you, whether you're in real estate, mortgages, whether you have a direct-to-consumer sales gig, etc., not that we're going to have a lot of listenership outside of that space, but please volunteer when you're young, your time, when you're old, your money, sliding scale in between, but be philanthropic. The world needs that shit now more than ever.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's absolutely, well, the world's a cartoon.
It is important. Yeah, absolutely. I actually do, I promote it. It's on, I have my, I wish I had one here, but I have my real estate signs when they're planted in the yard. I have 2 different ones. They have dogs on them. And the dog has a little comment bubble, or what you want to call it, above him. And basically says, the sale of this home will help shelter pets find a home. So because I do donate from every single house I sell to get both cats and dogs, nonprofits. So it is, that's what I've gone with because that's my passion. So,
Okay. So here's something that you're passionate about. You enjoy doing your failure fostering. You're meeting a bunch of people that share similar passions, your tribe, and this kind of activity and behavior results in real estate business. It's organic. It's a byproduct, but I cannot express how valuable volunteer work can be for your business.
I think that when people when you're sitting there volunteering, wherever you're working or there's people next to you volunteering, you're talking to them and they don't, obviously when I'm at the Feline Fix, I don't talk about real estate. That's not the first thing I bring up, but in getting to know people,
you're talking about your fifth cat coming.
Yeah, exactly. And so when they go to sell their house, they want to trust somebody and they know me, so that's why they call me and they trust that I'm not going, if you're not used to real estate and that's not your everyday thing and you haven't done a transaction, your own home, whatever it may be, let's say it's a decade, let's say it's 20 years. I mean, you're kind of like, who the heck am I going to turn to, So anyway, they know me, they know that's part of me. And so, that is
they like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because you guys have all this in common.
Yeah. Yeah. And they trust me. So
boom. We just nailed the big three, the know, like, and trust by doing something that we love, that we're passionate about, that we want to help in our community, whether that's humans or animals or your religious organization or your homeowners community, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're going to come across like-minded people that like you, that you like, that you would want to work with instead of people that are going to be a pain in your ass anyway.
Yeah.
And you're going to organically have more business based on those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of the most fantastic ways to serve, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Your community and your business and your friends and your relationships and.
I also think it makes you're more passionate about your business. I mean, I don't feel like I'm not like just out there every day selling homes, but because I know that I have that piece of me that's, giving a lot to the animals. And then when I do sell a home, at the same time, I'm giving back with each sale. So anyway, I think it really helps incorporate, how people, they're like, I just don't know what I'm passionate about. I just, I'm not passionate about my job. I mean, you can be passionate about your job, I mean, whether it's incorporating your, the charity that you support or go to your job, but then, make time for what you are really, into as far as, serving a nonprofit.
How long have you been serving this nonprofit?
I've been serving this nonprofit since 2017, but I would say, I've been involved in animal welfare since, I'm going to date myself, but 1998. So I have a lot of knowledge about the sheltering rescue community. And it's just always, since I was little, what I've been, drawn to.
It's really cool.
Very cool.
It's really cool.
Well, you guys are sweet. Thank you.
No, you're just ticking off so many boxes with this. And for those of you listening, we didn't really have an agenda with Stacey. Yeah. We were talking about animals before we went live because I'm the rookie with 5 pets in the house. I don't know how that happens, but I'm the amateur among the 3 of us. So we were talking about that, and of course, it's true. This is a fantastic piece of our lives, of our business lives, and how that all integrates. And if you're in a gig where you are selling high ticket items direct to the consumer, like Stacey does real estate, and I do mortgages and insurance agents and financial planners and high-end car salespeople, on and on, then you already, if you're good at it anyway, you already know that your lives are entwined, your work life, your personal life. There's no separation there. It's all one thing. And this is one of those ways to be passionate about it. It's a really big deal. So yeah, good on you, Stacey. And I'm glad that we were able to kind of steer it this way. I think a lot of our audience is going to be curious about how 2023 was Stacey's biggest year. That's a big deal. We had a good year, but I don't. And my world's a little different because 20 and 21 were weird. But yeah.
You know what I would say also, that's coming to mind right now is because of, the past year and a half, I think that the builders out there, this is horrible to say, I think they got a little arrogant when it was very easy to sell and they didn't really feel like they needed realtors. And so, they were just they were trying to cut us out left and right, but and then
they still are, don't you worry.
Yeah. So I think when it got harder to sell homes, especially with where the interest rates were in 2023, there were so many incentives. I mean, there's incentives that were insane and I had never seen before. And so I think I did a bunch of, maybe that's part of it too, is I did a bunch of new builds, including this wasn't last year, but like in January, January 31, I just closed on my own home. I bought a new home really because at the end of November, I saw them like practically giving houses away and with the incentives because they were giving so much to you that it just made sense to do it then. And so I do think that also helped me. Builders were really in need to sell houses. They had a lot of houses on their books and that they wanted to get off their books. And so, they just were going above and beyond, in my opinion, from what I had ever dealt with before.
Well, and certainly in comparison to previous years, I know builders out there that had completely eliminated a buyer's agency co-op.
Yeah, basically, essentially, right. It was like, they were basically telling you that we don't need you.
Guess what? Turns out you do. But we won't go too far into the weeds on that one. That's another episode for sure. But we can definitely talk about how builder behavior over the cycles has revealed itself. Well, I'm trying to be as nice about this as I can.
You are.
I am. We've been a builder's preferred lender in the past, and it was unique. It was interesting. And I've watched the builders very, very closely over the course of my career and what they've done to incentivize buyers and agents and what they've done to try and eliminate agents and what they did with their inventory in 07 and 08 and what they had to do to eliminate inventory in the last couple of years. And it's been an interesting ride for them as well. So no doubt about it. But I do think that opens the door to an interesting subject. What's the big picture look like for Stacey this year? What are we doing?
So you know what? I think I started a new, what should I call it? Like another channel of my company. And it's called Yeti Homes. And so you could find it at yetihomes.co, like Colorado. And it's it's easier mobily. I mean, you can use it, you can access it either way, but I've made it very simple mobily, just because I'm doing a lot of Facebook advertising. So I just started that. So I haven't, I basically launched it at the start of this year. But that is probably what I'm like more gearing towards, just kind of renaming my company and that type of thing.
Are we rebranding essentially?
Yes, we are. It's rebranding. Why
Yeti?
Why Yeti? Is that what you said?
Significance there, yeah.
Just being a native Colorado person, I just love, I'm all about the, putting the Yeti on the back of your car. I love it. I'm very intrigued with the Yeti. I personally believe they're out there. Not that I'm a total crazy person, but that's not why I did that. But I just think it's very Colorado to Yetis. I think are very popular in Colorado. I think the branding for any company that has a Yeti can be very popular. And so I wanted to incorporate it. And, like our tagline is, yours is out there, we'll find it, so I kind of incorporated.
That's cute. I like that a lot.
So, so I just started that, so you can access that either desktop or mobilely.
I'm looking at the Facebook page, and the Yeti's adorable.
It's really cute.
He's a cute Yeti. Yep, absolutely.
That's funny. We've gone through some different ideations, or iterations of it. My daughter has definitely she's teenager, senior, so I'm like you, Adam, teenager. And I can't tell you how many of them I loved. And she's like, God, that's awful. You need to redo it. Just like, I have no confidence in that now. So,
and she has no filter. So perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
So that's what I'm starting this year. Like I'm just, I'm trying to build that up. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be an interesting year.
Yeah.
No question. And we are specializing in new homes and new builds. Cool.
Yes. So that's that channel of my company. Yes.
Excellent. Well, this has been really cool. We've talked about animals and animals and animals.
Yeah.
And I think the Yeti's an animal. And,
probably
and the truth is out there. Absolutely. There's a giant bronze Yeti as you're coming into Steamboat Springs when you come down Highway 40 off of
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and my kids for years and years and years have always made that the big deal coming and going from Steamboat is we have to find this giant Yeti. He's not near anybody's house or business. He's kind of in the trees. He's just hanging out. Yeah. So, Bigfoot might be real.
There's been some recent Yeti videos, and I can remember sitting at Christmas showing my parents and saying, "Look at this. This has to be real." I mean, my whole family rolls their eyes at me. So, yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
I love it.
Very cool. All right, Jen, I know you're trying to keep us on track time-wise, which you've done a really good job of. But yeah, give us all the deets on what Just the Tips is up to these days, because it's a lot again.
Yeah, so we have Social Media Day Denver coming up June 14th. I'm still looking for a couple more speakers and sponsors for that. So you can email me at smdaydenver@gmail.com if you're interested in being a part of that event. Thank you to Metro State for partnering with us again for Social Media Day Denver. It's a great one-day event. Pretty much everybody is the audience for it. Anyone who wants to learn a little bit more about something going on in social media. And there's been a lot of changes in the last year, so I'm excited for that. And then if you want to book one-on-one coaching with us, or if you want to get copies of Adam's books or find past episodes of the show, literally all the things, you can text tips to 63566 for all of that.
There were a couple of things that I thought about that were really important, because we had recently done our first digital masterclass, which again, Jen, thank you. I don't know why I can speak to a live audience of 2,000, and if I'm going to do it online, I get or was nervous about it, but we'd never done it before, so a little bit of credit there. And that masterclass is available.
Yes,
people can subscribe to that, and I think one of the cool byproducts of that is the Day of Tips with Jen and Adam, and a lot of people have started to book that. I hope you saw that we were asked to come to St. Louis for a day, and
that's
I
awesome.
will. Well, we've done this a bunch, but Jen and I kind of plotted and planned and stalled because St. Louis in the winter didn't really appeal. So we will be doing that on the first day of spring. Is actually how I timed that out. So that
I get it.
We didn't have to say we were going to St. Louis in the winter because awful. This while we're all having a dry 60 degrees sunny day in Denver.
Yeah, so, exactly.
It's beautiful today.
It's spectacular. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Jen, I assume we can get all that as well by using the text code.
Yes. Everything text tips. Go to justthetipscoaching.com. Reach out to us directly. But yeah, we got a lot going on. A lot of offerings this year, which is pretty cool. And
it's been a lot of fun. Having a really good time with all of these groups and our one-on-one clients and everybody. And with Stacey, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
We love having you on this show. So Jen, get Stacey booked for another episode as soon as we can, because by then she might have 12 cats.
That's true.
You might.
That's
or
also
you might. The two of you might actually have a combination of 12 cats by then. So we'll get Stacey back on the show for you guys as soon as we can, because she is a fantastic guest. And for the rest of you, you can catch live episodes on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at 10:30 Mountain Time on Mondays. That's 12:30 Eastern Time for those of you that, don't know that mountains actually do have their own time zone. We were made aware of that not a lot of people don't know what mountain time is. All right. And you can catch the podcast about 48 hours later on Wednesdays on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching or listening live in syndication to this episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. And we'll see you guys next time.